Good morning. Welcome to your week. Hello. So the challenge this week is something that's quite personal for me, and I'm really intrigued to see how you guys go with it for this week. You may remember that we've all had this conversation about the arc of your life. That's your physical arc. And then above it, the spiritual arc. And as you're a baby, you're physically inept and spiritually with the cosmos. And then you come in together at 35, and then it starts to separate again, back out towards the cosmos, and your body starts to decline. Now, we're in that middle part, all of us at some phase in the middle bit. And one of the things that has called you to do this program with me is, and you've all spoken about it some way or another, is this sense that the tides inside you are starting to shift and that something new is starting to emerge and that you want to explore what that is and get conscious of it. So we're doing this work to help look back over our lives to distinguish that leitmotif, that line that goes up through the physical, up to the plateau of the middle years, and then hopefully and intentionally back up towards the cosmos, towards the spiritual expression of self. The pull, of course, is that we've spent 35 years on the physical expression of self, the material one, and the pull is to keep doing that. Everything about that we know about ourselves is attached to that self-expression and that kind of those set of values, those things that are important. So that actually just takes you down towards nothing, really, decay and the kind of sadness. Whereas following the spiritual path, which is one of generosity and giving and being for others and non-material, not that you can't have those in the first half, but it's a complete self-expression of that as who you are, is what's shifting in this middle part, this middle 10 to 15 years. Now, what I've experienced in this time is that my attachment to the material world shows up like an attachment to money, an attachment to success, an attachment to a vision of myself that implies a certain kind of person. You know, when I was 25 years old, I went to France, I lived in Paris, I ran an art gallery, well, kind of like out of my home, but an art business. I had a lot of money, I was very successful, and I really didn't like that experience. But my vision of who I am as a person, what it means to be a good, successful person, is still attached to something around that kind of sense of self, that sense of success. So as I reach the middle arc of my life and I look out towards my future, I'm grappling with that, maybe that vision, which is morphed a lot, right? But that vision of myself out into the second half actually is still some variation of the young man that wanted to be successful. Now, what's happened in the last couple of weeks or the last couple of months since doing this work is I've started to have those tides deeply shift inside me and start to pull me towards a life that is one of a spiritual self-expression and giving back of this kind of work to people. But the hold of the vision of success and material success is so strong that I've had a couple of weeks where I've really had to struggle with myself to let go and allow myself to just surrender to the universe, surrender to everything and go, well, what would my life really look like? What would my vision of my life really look like if I was to follow the path up and not the path down? And it's been really tough. It's actually been a really difficult time because the further I go from my spiritual expression, the harder the struggle is. I have to fight myself to stay attached to the material expression. So here's my challenge for this week. I want you to spend the week having a look at where you're being pulled, where your sense of self is attached to the material expression of yourself, and where you're being pulled or your sense of self is being attached to a spiritual expression of yourself, and start to distinguish where like two magnetic poles, which one is, how you're being pulled one way and how you're being pulled another way. So I'm going to write about this and think about this and talk about this. And on Friday, I invite you all to come onto the session at 12 o'clock and have a really in-depth conversation about how your life is shifting at this time and what values, what things that have been important to you in the past that you've identified with are being let go of, and what things that maybe are starting to emerge, or maybe you don't know yet that are starting to emerge, but something new is starting to show up, and what that's like for you. Great. I think we'll have a really robust and interesting conversation, and this is quite a powerful exploration to have. So good luck this week, and stay in touch with me, obviously, and I will be in communication with all of you. All right, bye.